Xin cho khói trầm thơm kết thành mấy năm sắc, dâng lên khắp mười phương cúng dường vô lượng bùn, vô lượng chư Bồ Tát cùng các thánh hiền thánh, nơi pháp giới dung phong kết đài sáng rực rỡ, nguyện làm kẻ đồng hành trên con đường giác ngộ. Xin mọi loài chúng sanh tự bỏ cõi lãng quên, theo đường giới định tuệ quay về trong tỉnh thức. Chúng con kính dâng hướng lên chư Bụt và chư vị Bồ Tát.
Dear beloved ones, today, October 21st, in the year 2023, we are at Chẩn Monastery to commemorate or remembrance those victims of the Lahaina fire. We hear your suffering, we hear your depression, we hear your loneliness. And today we offer a rite ceremony of invitations to chant, to pray for you, so you can liberate and be free from your suffering, from hatred, from despair, so you can transform, so you can let go of your sorrow, your sadness, your suffering to the Lord's rule. We will offer 3 days of chanting to hear you, to witness your suffering, your sadness. And today we will read out the names of the victims that are being burned by the fire of Lahaina. If we miss any of the names, please forgive us. We know that we have tried best to read out all the names of the victims of Lahaina. Nam Shakyan Naya Vivaya.
Nhất tâm kinh lễ Bụt Pháp và Tăng thường trú trong mười phương. Nhân tâm kinh lễ Đức Bồ Tát Đại Nguyện Địa Tạng Vương. Nhân tâm kinh lễ chư liệt vị tổ sư qua các thời đại, từ Việt Nam cho tới Mỹ Quốc. phụng vị cầu siêu nghiệp loại siêu hóa thôi chiếc hoàng thể Chẩn Linh Việt Nam Hoa Kỳ kỳ thư chiến tranh anh linh chiến sĩ vì quốc phong thân binh sĩ trọng vong nam nữ thanh linh hồn liệt vì phụng vị chánh độ cầu siêu nghiệp loại hóa độ thoát hóa phụng tánh toàn linh Lahaina đại hỏa tai nạn nhân qua cô nam nữ thanh linh hồn liệt vì phụng vị cầu siêu nghiệp loại kinh thành qua hoa bạc độ siêu thanh ảnh hưởng tác tánh toàn linh thoát ly nghiệp chướng đình tánh quy linh tình hiệp luyện dương thượng đình phát chơn linh Việt Nam chiến tranh đông bào tự nạn chư vị thiện nhân vượng biến vượng viện qua cố nam nữ thanh linh hồn liệt vì phụng vị tự hành tự giữ gia bách tăng quý trí từ ký linh tùng từ ký danh cầu siêu giải oan bác đồ qua cố nam nữ hương linh liền vì phụng vị dư gia bách tánh tăng thế tử phụ oan trai tiền khiên oan gia trai chủ cụ thù chấp đối nhân thiên họ nghiệp đẳng dư hoàng hồn liệt vì
And these are the names of the passing victims. Windenbury Gu, Linda Vitali, Ravelina Topak, Alfred Rawlings, Angelica Buckley, Freeman Tomlin, June Andy, Mark Kaminsky, Michael Morinho, Morris Kaita, Lutz Bernabe, Felino Guizano, Zulma Guizano, Maria Victoria Ricolizado, Eugene Ricolizado, Justin Ricolizado, Jonathan Somaan, Glenn Yoshio, Viviana Tombak Buchania, John Tomber McCarthy, Davis Nuestra Jr., Rafael Imperio, Maurice Bowen, Rex Cole, Antonia Coley Molina, Douglas Goldlie, Paul Micah Lozano, Teresa Cook, Joseph Lara, Tony Kakafua, Salote Tom, Fa So Tom, Marui Fonua Tom, Antonio Simpson, Joey Skilling, Kurt Carter, Juan De Leon, Clyde Wakida, Salvador Coloma, Lynn Manibok, Virginia Dofa, Harold Paxton, Rodolfo Rokutan, Kelio Francis, Conchita Secundan, Dalio Secundan, Frankie Tragos, Bertie Jantok, Becky Wells, Donna Gomez, Alfred Garinado, Siskin Samuel, Zobek Lester Frank, Bukov Walter, Yuslan Walter, Zivansky Thomas, Hess Daryl Miller, Peter Robert Arnold, Hicksman Arthur Lee, Hictor Warren Paul, Hicks Elmer Orivio, Hicks Graf John Doe, Hildebrand John Jr., Hillman Murray Chester, Hill Bartley Taylor, Hill Clifford Dell, Hill Edwin Joseph, Hilton Wilson Woodrow, Hill Frank Albert, Hinman Frank Weaver, Heinz Orwell Clay, Hiskets Dennis Hubert, Hislop William, Hitrick Albert Joseph, Histrop Joseph Parker Jr., Watt Frank Samuel Jr., Ford Herbert John, Hodge Garis Vada, Hodge Howard David, Hoyster Lester John, Hoffman Joseph Warren, Holland Paul Herbert, Hollenbeck Paul Zeck, Holly Paul Alston, Hollis Graff, Hollywell George Sanford, Holmes Harry Randolph, Holmes Laurel, Holmes Robert Kimball, Holmes Kenneth Lawrence, Hazard James William, Holsworth Walter, Homer Henry Vernon, Hood Earl, Hood Joseph Ernest, Hope Harold, Hopkins Edwin Chester, Hopkins Homer David, Horan John, Horan Vincent, Hort Chester George, Horner James Albert, Horn Melvin Friedland, Horrell Harvey Howard, Horrocks James William, Horton William David, Holster John Emmett, Howdy Emery Lee, Housley John James, House Plain Raymond, Howard Elmo, Howard George, Howard Roland George, Howell Leroy, Howell Darrell Robert, Hoyt Clarence, Russ Saki Charles Lewis, Hineski Frank, Rupert Hayward, Hupner Edgar, Hutgill Alfred William, Hutnell Robert Chilton, Hudson Charles Eugene, Hudson Ira Durant, Hoffman Clyde Franklin, Huff Robert Land, Hughes Bernard Thomas, Hughes Edward Dry, Hughes Louis Burtons, Hughes Marvin Austin, Huey James Lighton, Huey John Connolly, Hugh Robert, Hope Brand Lawrence Emmanuel, Husband Donald Stanley, Humphrey Henry, Hunter Robert Malvin, Hunter Robert Frederick, Huntington Henry Lewis, Hurt Willard Hardy, Hurley Welltel Ray, Hux Leslie Quidere, Tweez Arthur Albert, Hewell Ivan Joseph, Heidi William Hughes, Iraq Joseph Cloud, Iboston Howard Bird, Igals Richard Fitch, Igals Theodore, Ingrams David Archie, Ingram George Washington, Irish Robert Clement, Isham Orville Adabert, Isom Luther James, Iverson Earl Henry, Iverson Norman Kenneth, Iverson Clay Don Ignatius, Ivy Charles Andrew, Jackson David William, Jackson David Paul Jr., Jackson Lowell Cruz, Jackson Robert Woods, Jackson William Clarence, Jackson Goldie, Jacobson Dave, Jacobson Herbert Barney, Jacob Richard Frederick, Jacob Richard William, James Charles Rudolph, James John Burdett, Janty Edwin Earls, James Gifford Thurston, Jardine George William, Jaganski Edwin Charles, James Kenneth Lai, Jean Victor Lawrence, Dresky Joseph, Jeffrey Itra, Jeffries Kath, Jenkins Joseph Herbert, Jensen Robert Henry Dawson, Jensen Kath Marlowe, Jensen Theodore Q, Jensen Jesse Bennett, Jerison Donner, Jonah He George Homer, Johan Paul, Frederick, Johnson Billy James, Johnson Carl Spencer, Johnson Carl Andrea, Johnson Donor Walter, Johnson David Andrew, Johnson Edward Dell, Johnson Edmund Russell, Johnson Flavor B.M., Johnson George Edward, Johnson Joseph Morris, Johnson James Rodman, Johnson John Russell, Johnson Melvin Grant, Johnson Olaf, Johnson Robert Henry, Johnson Samuel Early, Johnson Sterling Conrad, Johnston Jim Hell, Jolie Mary Stanley, Jones Charles Allen, Jones Charles Williams, John Daniel Pugh, John Edward Watkins, Jones Ernest, Jones Edmund Eckners, John Fred, Jones Floyd Baxter, Jones George Edwin, John Herbert, Jones Harry Cecil, Jones Henry Jr., John Homer Lloyd, Jones Hughes Jr., John Jerry, Jones Leroy Henry, Jones Leland, Jones Quincy Eugene, John Rodney Wallace, John Thomas Raymond, Jones Warren Allen, Jones Willard Wolf, John Woodrow Wilson, Jordan Julian Bethune, Jordan Wesley Verney, Joyce Calvin Wilbur, Joyner Theodore K., Judge Albert John, Judas William Arthur, Jefferson Thomas Valentine, Kane John Lewis, Caloris Harold Lee, Kaiser Robert Oscar, Galinskowski Henry, Camille Eric, King Albert Utley, Terrebonne Joseph Nicholas, Carly John Albert, Cat Eugene Lewis, Kaufman Harry, Keaton Vernon Paul, Ketchner Vincent John, Keener Ali Glenn, King Billy Mack, Keffer Howard Verney, Kai Ralph Henry, Keith George Richard, Keller Donald Garrett. Keller Paul Daniel, Keller Joe Marion, Keller Jan Dennis, Keller Robert, Kelly Sanford, Kellogg Wilbur Leroy, Kelly Robert Lee, Kemp Warren Joseph, Kender Leo Thomas, Kenningston Donald Lee, Kenningston Kenneth Howard, Canners Kenneth Frank, Kennedy William Henry, Kennington Charles Cecil, Kennington Milton Homer, Kent Texas Thomas Jr., Kent William Harrison, Kereski Albert Tom, Kerrigan Raymond Joseph, Gessler David Leland, Kits Isaac Campbell, Pierre Ronald William, Guy Savage Charles Ermin, Kimley Robert Doyle, Kinder Andrew Jr., King Andrew, King Gordon Lane, King Leander Cleveland, King Louis Meyer, King Marion Jr., King Orville Vaniel Jr., King Robert Nicholas Jr., King Frederick William, King Gilbert Livingston, Gertrude Wilbur Albert, Kirkpatrick Thomas Lawsey, Klein Edward, Lassing William August, Klein Odo, Lies Chester Frederick, Klein Robert Edwin, Clark Francis Lawrence, Clubertans Roderick Odo, Knight Milton Jewell Jr., Knight Robert Wagner, Miss Bernie Francis, Nubel William Jr., Not Walter Ernest, Conicam Clarence, Corky Herman Oliver, Cole John Jr., Colajak Rossick, Connick Albert Joseph, Cossack John Anthony, Kovar Robert, Cosendler Leonard Joseph, Cram Jan Albert, Quaker Donald Jr., Cram James Andre, Cram John David, Cramer Harry Wellington, Cramer Robert Rudolph, Claus Frank Joseph, Chrisman Max Sam, Kruger Richard Warren, Kruger Adolf Louis, Kubinet William Paul, Kujawa Conrad, Kurok Howard Lagi, Kula Stanley, Kusi Donald Joseph, Kusi Ernest George, Kevanes Haynes, Kavidera William Lester, Kaiser D.T., LaRue George Willard, Lacrosse Henry Jr., Ladarash Robert Paul, Lake John Irwin, Logging Donald Lapierre, Logging Joseph Jordan, Lance George Samuel, Lamont Kenneth Tuff, Lancaster John Thomas, Landman Henry, Landy James Joseph, Lane Edward Wallace, Lane Marcel Curtis, Langwater Olivia, Lane Richard Charles, Langwood Frank, Langwet Henry John, Lawson Donor, Lawson Elliot Dean, Lawson Leonard Carl, Lakin Licker, Laurie Johnny Cornelius, Lauren Charles, Lauren Elmer Patterson, Lauren Ashford Stephen, Lawson Willard Irvin, Leary Thomas Francis, Lee David Alfonso, Lee Carroll Rowley Jr., Lee Henry Lloyd, Lee Roy Alma Jr., Leggett John Goldie, Lacrosse Joseph McNeil, Leeman Gerald George, Leeman Myron Kenneth, Lai James Baxter, Lai Malcolm Hendrick, Lemiré Joseph Sam, Leopold Robert Lawrence, Lapper Edmund Brayton, Lascaux Lionel W., Leslie George G., Les Master Steve Louise, LeVar Frank, Levi Sherman, Lewiston Neil Stanley, Louis John Earl, Louis James, Louis Theodore, Louis Wayne Almond, Yvonne Lester, Lightfoot Worth Ross, Linwood Warren Anderson, Lincoln John William, Lindsay James Mitchell, Lindsay Harold William, Lindsay John Herbert, Linton George Edward, Libby Wilburn Thomas, Linsky Clarence William, Littley John Anthony, Littley Daniel Edward, Liz Eugene Victor, Peter John Brooks, I.E., Levers Raymond Edward, Levers Wayne Nicholas, Livingston Alfred Eugene, Livingston Richard, Lockwood Clarence, Lock Douglas, Globach Aldous John, Loman Earl Wynne, Lomax Frank Stewart, Lominbao Marciano, London James Edward, Long Benjamin Franklin, Long Guy Edward, Lord Harry W. Jr., Lounsbury Thomas William, Laus Tanau, Charles Bernard, Love and Frank Crook, Love Carl Robert, Loveshin William Joseph, Louis Robert, Lucindio Jerniat, Luca Roy Bradford, Luke Vernon Thomas, Luna James Edward, Longford Jack Leon, Longta John Calivor, Lust Howard, Luston William George, Luzier Ernest Burton, Lynn Donna William, Lynch Emmett Isaac, Lynch Jem Robert Jr., Lynch Kenneth Lee, Lynch William Joseph Jr., Leon Lawrence P. Jr., Leon Arnold Eugene, Marie Octavius, Maddox Raymond Dudley, Madrid Arthur John, Nathanas Francisco Reyes, Maggie Gerald James, Maggers Howell Scott, Malakat Joseph, Malaki Frank Edward, Malak Michael, Malafanti Algio Victor, Malinskowski John Stanley, Nelson Harry Lee, Mangis Howell Ellis, Mannion Edward Hall, Manning William H., Manlove Arthur Leon, Manning Leroy, Manning Milberts Alex, Manning Walter Benjamin, Man Charles Williams, Mensch John H., Mensch William Edwards, Nancy Robert Francis, Magnus Andrea Francis, Marinich Steve Matt, Maris Elwood Henry, Marty Robbery Harrow, Martin Joseph Henry, Marlo Urban Pritchell, Marshall John Andrew, Marshall Thomas Donald, Marshall William Earth Jr., Marsh Benjamin Raymond Jr., Marsh William Archer, Martinez Rudolph Mercado, Martin Dallas Lewis, Martin George M. Jr., Martin Herbert Benjamin, Martin Hughes Lee, Martin John Winter, Martin James Albert, Martin James Orwell, Martin Luster Lee, Martin Wallace R., Margie Andrew Michael, Mark Raff B., Mason Brian Daly, Mason Henry Clay, Macy James Edward, Mastel Ty Harold, Masterson Cleburne Carroll, Masters Nathan Monroe, Matro Totaro Maurice, Mata Jesus, Mala Lindsay, Matai Harold Richard, Matheson Charles Harris, Madison Donald Joseph, Matney Vernon Murford, Matton Harold K., Mattock James Durant, Molly Joseph Keith, Maybe George Frederick, Mayfield Franzier, Mayfield Lester Elwood, Mayo Marvin William, Mayo Rex Haywood, May Louis Eugene, McCanny William, McCanny John Scott, McBee Luther Kurt, McCanny Edwin Bonner, McClellan Thomas Alfred, McLincock James Jacob, McLeod Donna Albert, McComb Lauren Jennings, McComas Lawrence William, McCutcheon Warren Harold, McDonald James Oliver, McGee Lester Fred, McGraw George V, McLukin Edward L, McIntosh Denzel Jeffrey, McKinnon Herb Eugene, McKee Quinton Guy, McInsack Hell Lee, McLaughlin Herbert E, McLaughlin Lloyd Alden, McLeon Stanley A, McMinn Clyde Clifton, McMurtry Aaron L, McWadi Robert Cameron, Meadow Leward A, Meager Donald F, Means Lewis, Mears John Moran, Madeline Joseph Alfroy, Magnus John Anthony, Nelson George, Melton Earl Rudolph, Melton Herbert Franklin, Melton John Russell, Maggie Ola Enrique Castro, Menefi James Austin, Menzies Herbert Hugo, Manuel Vincente Hugi, Mezensky Stanley Paul, Meritu William W., Mariel Howard Dino, Mezam Horace Arthur, Meyer Victor L., Michael Charles O., Miss Salato Carlo Anthony, Major Esquire John Franklin, Mijita Torrell, Milborn Jesse Keith, My Archie Hero, Milius Oscar Wright, Miller Chester John, Miller Joy Allen, Miller Forrest Newton, Miller George Stanley, Miller J.B. Delane, Miller Jesse Zimmer, Miller John David, Miller Marvin Eugene, Miller William Cinero, Miller William Oscar, Milligan Waldo Howie, Milner James William, Mims Robert Lane, Minia Richard Jr., Minix Olivier Ray, Mr. Jan Dewey, Mirello Bernard Joseph, Mr. Joe Eddie, Michelle Edwin N., Michelle John G., Mitchell Wallace Gregory, McLeaner Joseph, Mopes Richard Preston, Monroe Donald, Montgomery Charles Andrew, Montgomery Robert E., Montgomery Wallace Alfred, Montgomery William A., Moody Robert Edward, Moore Clyde Carson, Moore Douglas Carston, Moore Fred Kenneth, Moore James Carston, Moorhead Lionel J., Morehouse William Starks, Morgan Russell Lee, Moran George A., Morgan Wayne, Mogarini James Orries, Maureen Yelly Addo, Maureen Eugene Alvis, Morel Albert R., Morrison Earl Leroy, Morris A. Edward Francis, Morris Emmett Edward, Morris Owen Newton, Morris William Francis, Morris Edward Charles, Morris Francis Jerome, Morris George Roberts, Morris Norman Roy, Moser Joseph G., Moslinger Louis Gustav Jr., Moss Tommy Lee, Mostek Francis Clayton, Mouton Bojon Eddie, Mirais Calvin John, Muhowski Joseph Alexander, Mulik John Mark, Muncie Claudet, Murdoch Charles Luther, Murdoch Melvin Elijah, Murphy James Joseph, Murphy James Palmer, Murphy Jesse Quill, Murphy Thomas J. Jr., Myers Claire Clifton, Meyer James Journey, Myers Ray Harris, McCarran James Francis, McCary William Moore, McClafty John Charles, McClung Harvey Manford, McFadden Lauren James, McLaston George Otis, McClady Janet Sam Willie Jeans, McGuire Francis Raymond, McHughes John Breckenridge, McIntosh Harry George, McKinney Russell, McCorsky Michael Martin, McPherson John Clare, Nas Irvin H, Nadell Alexander Joseph, Niali George Eugene, Nafi Hughes Kendall, Neil Elmer Denton, Nash R. Andrews, Nations Jan Gordon, Nations Morris Edward, Naylor J. D. Neil Tomdick, Necessary George Raymond, Needham Laverge Jr., Neher John Oppo, Next Paul, Nils Joseph F., Nelson Hall Coplin, Nelson Henry Clarence, Nelson Lawrence Adolphus, Nelson Martin Wayne, Nelson Richard Eugene, Nermore Earl Tillman, Ludendorff William F. Jr., Lucy Wonder Arthur C., Neville Sam Douglas, Newman Laxton Gale, Newton Paul Eugene, Newton Wayne Edward, Newton Wilbur Francis, Nicholson Glenn Alvin, Nicholson Hansel Grant, Nichols Alfred Rose, Nichols Bento Allen, Nichols Cowell, Nichols Clifford Leroy, Nichols Harry Ernest, Nichols Louis Duffy, Nichols Frank Edward, Niles Tomek James, Nielsen Arnold Masson, Nielsen Floyd Theodore, Nix Laverne Alias, Nightingale Joel Raymond, Nix Charles Edward, Noyes Emil Salvatore, Nola to be Henry Ellis, Nolan Robert Harrell, Norman Donald Charles, Norman Horace Tate, Norte William M., Novell Howie Berry, Nowosky, Theodore Lucian, Lucer Raymond Alfred, Nye Frank Erskine, O'Brien Joseph Bernard, O'Brien George David, O'Brien Joseph Benjamin, O'Connor Maurice Michael, O'Reilly Camillus M., O'Neill Rex Eugene, O'Neill William Thomas Jr., Ojoski Henry Francis, Ogard Edwin Nelson, O'Foot William H., of Virgil Simmons, Obliski Longy Harris, Oakley George Raff, Oakley Victor Willard, O'Harity John Albert, O's Clifford Nathan, Oliver Raymond Brown, Olson Ali, Olson Clan Martin, or Dwight Jerome, Orwick Dean Baker, Ozex Dalinskow, Joseph, Osborne Melvin Eugene, Walter Deamer, Carl William, Ott Peter Dean, Outland Jarvis Goodwin, Owen Jan Patrick, Owen Richard Aiden, Owen Frederick Halden, Austin Alfred Stanley, Audi Arnold Jacob, Audi Thomas Leah, Paige Ramos Paul, Paige Joseph Wilson, Paige Miller Clarence, Halliday James Jr., Palmer Calvin Harry, Palmer Wilfred Dewey, Alucci James Alfred, Prentice George Lawrence, Parker Elmer Anthony, Parker Isaac, Parker June Minton, Parkes Harry Edward, Parks Chester Lloyd, Paroti Peter John, Patterson Elmer Marvin, Patterson Harold Reaver, Patterson Richard Jr., Coleman Hillary, Vinnie Bruno, Haynes Kenneth Morris, Pick Robert Hoskin, Hers Alfonso Jr., Hers Del Farrell, Person Norman Sensor, Person Robert Stanley, Harvey William Howard, Peckham Howard William, Peck Eugene Edward, Pedrotti Francis James, Harry Max Valdine, Valenchop Michael, Haltier John Arthur, Hens John Wallace, Pendavis George E., Pennington Raymond, Penny Russell M., Pencil John Campbell, Bentingo Walter Ray, Henton Howard Lee, Penruel George Ames Jr., P.D. Stephen, Purdue George Fred, Perkins George Ernest, Harry Forrest Hubert, Harry Howe H. Jr., Peterson Albert H. Jr., Peterson Elroy Vernon, Peterson Hardy Wilbur, Peterson Roscoe Earl, Petit Charles Ross, Pigway Willie James, Latab John Joseph, Hetz Robert Albert, Held George Edward, Philbin Jan Richard, Philbisky Thomas F., Phyllis James William, Phyllis Milo Ilam, Phils James Norman, Bayaseki Alexander Louis, Pierce Sidney, Bizeski J.E., Mike Harvey Lee, Pike Louis Jackson, Pinkham Albert Wesley, Pinko Andrew Anthony, Kirkpo Gerald Holmes, Viscurin Rudolph Victor, Pitcher Jack Arthur, Pitcher Walter Price, Pitt Louis William, Plant Donald J., Lecturer Daniel P., Juan Dexter Herbert Jr., Ponder Walter Howard, Holy Graf Ernest, Paul Albert Leoy, Porterfield Robert Kurt, Portillo Damien Mariah, Posey Frank S.E., Post Darrell Albert, Bovesco George, Howard Jack Speed, Powell Raymond E., Powell Thomas George, Powell William J., Powers Joy O'Neill, Powers Joy Wallace, Howard Abner Franklin, Pawlowski Daniel Jr., Preston Wayne Harrow, Pickwick Brady Oliver, Privately Robert Lamb, Bryce Olive Earl, Bryce George Franklin, Bryce George, Bryce John, Bryce Louis Bailey Jr., Richard Robert Louis Jr., Princey Alexander Jr., Puckett Irwin Lester, Paul Jasper Langley Jr., Hugh John Jr., Pauline Joy Alfred, Humil Nolan Eugene, Putnam Alvich Boyle, Lucio Edward, Walter Mike Joseph, Winata Joseph Sanchez, Kurt Edward Joseph, Racist Edward Stanley, Bradford Neil Jason. Ray Allen G., Ryman Paul Smith, Rainbow John Thomas, Ron Richard Reckner, Rasmussen Arthur Severin, Rasmussen Warren D., Rasmussen George Vernon, Rakovic William, Ron Butcher, Glenn Donald, Rawson Clyde Jackson, Ray Eldorn, Jasper, Ray Harry Joseph, Regan Dan Edward, Reeves, Gatsby, Reed James Buchan Jr., Reed Ray Ellison, Reed Comet Jr., Regan Leo Basil, Brad Eastern, Paul James. Reed George Bird, Reed William Henry, Rhino Rudolph Albert, Rhino Albert, Rest Eagle Jack Martin, Louis Herman C., Reynolds Earl Arthur, Reynolds Jack Franklin, Road Bird Richard, Road Mark Alexander, Road William T., Rice Irving Franklin, Rice William Hurst, Rice Wilson Albert, Rice William Albert, Richardson Warren John, Richard Raymond Lai, Richie Joseph L., Richardson Fred Louis, Richner Albert Wallet, Richard Bernard Kyver, Richie Robert M. Rich Law Edward, Rich Porter Lyon, Rico Guadalupe Austin, Riddell Eugene Edward, Riddlenore Clyde Jr., Rigatti Fred, Ridley Gerald Harrell, Ridley David Joseph, Ridley Edwin Herbert, Rivera Francisco Obiku, Roach Russell Clyde, Robbins Anson E., Robinson Edgar Jr., Robinson Joseph Morris, Robinson James Milton, Roberts Joy Fisk, Roberts Earl Reed, Roberts Kenneth Franklin, Robert McLennan Taylor, Roberts Walter Scott Jr., Robert Wilbur Colley, Robert William Francis. Robinson Harold Thomas, Robinson James Henry, Robinson James William, Robinson John James, Robinson Robert Harold, Robinson Mark Clifton, Roby Raymond Archer, Rogers John Dayton, Roanne Harry Turner, Roach Harold William, Roby Eugene Oscar, Rogers Thomas Strugian, Rogers Walter O'Neill, Rodness Howard E., Romano Silman, Robansky Donald Roger, Romeo Philansky M., Ronnie Emil Oliver, Ruth Melvin Lenore, Rousseau Howard Arthur, Rosenberry Oval Robert, Rosento Alfred Aaron. Rose Jester Clay, Rose Ernest Hall, Ross Leanne Ludley, Ross Joe Boyce, Ross William Francer, Rosie Joseph Carell, Rowell Frank Malcolm, Rowie Eugene Joseph, Royals William Nicholas, Royers Howard Daly, Royce Frank Willard, Rozak John Frank, Rasmus Joseph Stanley, Rudolph Cecil Roy, Eugerio William, Runkel Robert Leeson, Rukinek Nicholas, Luce Charles Lee, Rushner Olivier Lester, Ruford Harvey George, Rush Richard Harry, Ruski Joseph John. Drushel Benjamin Nelson, Lucette Arthur William, Rukowski John Peter, Rutan Dell Andrew, Ryan Edmund Thomas, Sadowski Roman Walter, Safel Morris Franklin, Sha Len Tawan, Charlene Wilder Dali, Samson Kenneth Holland, Samson Sherry Roland, Sandro Merrill Death, Sanderson James Harvey, Sanders Dean Stanley, Sanders Eugene Thomas, Sanford Thomas Stecker, Santos Filomeno, Santer William Ford, Salisbury Theodore Hilliard, Saunders Charles Lewis, Salvage Liel Jackson, Savage Walter Samuel Jr., Savage John Edwin, Savinsky Michael, Savin Tom, Sailor Paul M., Chidowski Joseph, Schweberlein George Albert, Chick William Reinhardt, Schiller Ernest, Slack Benjamin, Slackford Louis, Slackster Walter Fay, Schlum Albert Pershing, Schmichanko George R. Smith Herman, Smith Vernon Joseph, Smith Aloysius Herman, Smith Andrew Jim, Snyder William Jacob, Schoonover John Harry, Scoot Robert L. Sprang Harold Arthur, Schoonader Henry, Schumann Herman Lincoln, Shue Richard Martin Jr., Sherrill John, Schwarting Herbert C., Slee Harold Hughes, Scott A.J., Scott Bernard Oliver, Scott Crawford Edward, Scott George William, Scott George Harrison, Scott Ralph Edward, Scott Robert Raymond, Shrugs Jack Leo, Seaman Russell Otto, Shirley Edwin Leroy, Sinton Chester Ernest, Sedestro Verdi Delmore, Sally William Eugene, Salem William Lawrence, Savanison Everett Ivan, Xavier Charles Clifton, Shaftford William Kenneth, Shanahan William Jan Jr., Shannon William Alfred, Schobart Harry Robert, Sharon Louise Woody, Shatuk Robert R., Sean Donald Robert, Sean Clyde Donald, Sean Robert K., Shaffer George Robert, Sheldon Edward Justin, Sally Russell K. Jr., Sherman Robert O., Cheryl Warren Joseph, Sabine Richard Stanton, Shields William F., Chipman Harold Ellie, Shirley Paul Eugene, Shimmer Melvin Ivan, Shirley Benjamin Franklin, Shive Gordon Ashholm, Shive Malcolm Holman, Shrup Shelby Charles, Short Bernard Jr., Shroud Hanson Taylor, Sugar Marvin John, Sidney Delmar Daly, Sidlers Russell Louis, Sidell John Henry, Silva William Garfield, Silva William Howard, Sylvie Jesse, Simonson Carsten Elliott, Simmons Frank Leroy, Simon DeSaliar, Simon Walter Hamilton, Simon Albert Eugene, Cracks Eugene Mitchell, Skin Harvey Leroy, Scarrows Charles Jackson Jr., Scarrow Eugene, Scarrow Reno Leroy, Slap Pika Edward Frank, Sligo Earl Clifton, Slipper Martin Rubin, Schmarty Jack G, Smart Joseph Gillespie, Smart George David, Smaster Hal G. Holgin, Smith Albert Joseph, Smith Earl Jr., Smith Earl Walter, Smith Edward, Smith George Randolph, Smith Gerald Owen, Smith Gordon Ellisworth, Smith George Jr., Smith Harry E., Smith Harry, Smith John A., Smith John Edward, Smith Pete Wooden, Smith Leonard Ferdinand, Smith Lloyd George, Smith Luther Ken, Smith Murray Andrew, Smith Matt Lawrence, Smith Marvin Ray, Smith Oliver Stanley, Smith Robert Daniel, Smith Roland Hampton, Smith Ralph Stanley, Smith Walter Turnell, Smith, Jack Beltran, Sonia Harold Martinez, Solar Alfonso, Solier Walter Henry, Solomon James Eve, Shooter James Frederick, Sorensen Horville Earl, Shusley Joseph Lee, South Charles Braxton, South Amber W., Spay Johnny Herbert, Spangler Maurice Verdon, Sparks John B., Spear Herman Alder, Speecher Ernest Edward, Spencer Delbert James. Spen Murray Joe, Sperling Joseph, Spot Morris Edwin, Freeman Robert Lauren, Springer Charles Harrow, S.T. German Maurice J., Stanley Morrisky, Stafford Gordon William, Stalling Commit Braxton, Stapler Leoy, Staplers Merton Iran, Stapleton Kirby Roy, Stakovic Charles, Stakovic Joseph Jr., Staten Paul L., Stow Alfred Parker, Steady Ulysse Powell, Stephen Joseph Philip, Steiniger Gillester Leroy, Steiner Samuel Cypress, Steiner Floyd Darrow, Stein Walter Cloud. Stamboki George Joseph, Stephenson Hughes Donald, Stephens Woodrow Wilson, Sterling Gordon H. Jr., Sterling Otis Delaney, Stearns Charles M. Jr., Stevenson Frank Jakey, Stephen Jack Hazelett, Stephen Theodore Jr., Stewart Everett R., Stewart Floyd D., Stewart Thomas Lester, Steve Frank William Jr., Sterling Sherrod Fay, Stockdale Louis S., Stockman Harold William, Stockton Louis Alton, Stockwell Harry K., Stocker William Ellison, Stobilla Julian John, Storm Lon Lee, Stock Donald Alfred. Stoughton James, Stout Robert Thomas, Stovall Richard Pat, Strange Charles Orwell, Stratton John Raymond, Strickland Charles E., Strickland James E. Jr., Strickland Harry William, Springs Gerald Victor, Sharp William Alfred, Sullivan Edward Francis, Saucers Frederick Franklin, Schumers Glenn Aiden, Schumers Harold Edward, Schumer Oren, Surratt Milton Reese, Sherrells Leo H., Sutton Clyde Wesley, Sutton George Woodrow, Swanson Charles Carroll, Sweeney Charles E., Siwitontek Stanley Stephen. Swishers Charles Elijah, Sylvester William Grover, Simonette Henry, Sabo Theodore Stephen, Zegmanskowskis Jerome J., Ceronic Edward Frank, Tabor George Edward, Tafoya Antonio S., Talbot Edward Everett, Dambolio Victor Charles, Tanner Randers F. J., Tanner Russell Allen, Tabby Edward Casamiro, Tap Lambert Ray, Tap John, Taylor Aaron Gus, Taylor Charles Robert, Taylor Charles Benton, Taylor Harry Theodore, Taylor Bauman Lee, Taylor Robert Denzel, Tilly Charles Madison. Tier Ali Gray, Temple Houston, Temple Monroe, Kennel Raymond Clifton, Tennyson Anderson G., Turbo Benjamin C., Tyrell John Raymond, Tyler Duda, Fingers Arthur Ray, Thomas Houston O'Neill, Thomas Randall James, Thomas Stanley Horace, Thomas Vincent Luron, Thomas George William, Thompson Clarence, Thompson Charles Leroy, Thompson George Allen, Thompson Irving A.R., Thompson Irene Edward, Thompson Ralph William, Thompson Robert Gary, Thompson William Manley. Thompson Richard Joseph, Coleman John Christopher, Thornton Cecil Howard, Thornton George Hayward, Thornley Robert Leroy, Truman John Henry, Coonhorse Lee Vernon, Tibet Herman K. Jr., Dix Ernie Ewart, Tibau David Franklin, Timmerman William Frederick, Timms Lloyd Rudolph, Tindall Louis Frank, Tina Robert Reeves, T. Dante Sylvester, Tipworth Keith Byron, Tipton Henry Fenn, Tisdale William Ashley, Titterlington Everett Cecil, Topping Patrick Phillips, Todd Neil Kenneth, Mick Peter. Tobelin James N. Toti Natalie Ignatius, Drambanger Oval Austin, Pratt Harold Frank, Pratt William Herman, Pratt Wayne Selby, Theodore Frank P. Triplet Thomas Edgar, Provato Tom, Trujillo Richard Ignacio, Tuckerman George William, Tucker Raymond Edward, Tucker William David, Tumbison Victor Pat, Tuckman Earl Eugene, Turk Pete, Turner Billy, Turner William George, Tennessee John Morgan, Tusla Louis James, Tusi Iloy Harold, Tutu Ralph E. Tyson Robert, Ufert Russell Orivio, Ulick Edward Bruno, Uliman Robert W., O'Reilly Andrew Curtis, Ulrich Albert Herbert, Ulrich George Vernon, Urban John Joseph, Valentine Richard Dominic, Valley Noel Earl, Van Atta Garden Wadi, Van Moore James Randolph, Van Valkenburg Franklin, Van der Boer Albert Peter, Van der Lee Martin, Van der Poel Peyton L. Jr., Voiture Brigley, Bassar Benjamin Frank, Verhart William Frank, Vider Gordon Elliott, Valia Galen Steve, Venable Hoggy Clarell Jr., Vernick Edward Frank, Vindolo Russell P., Vieira Alberto Everett, Villa Michael William, Vincent Jesse George Jr., Vine George Eugene, Vincent James, Vogelsons Joseph Jr., Vaught John H.L. Jr., Vosta Walter Arnold, Vosti Anthony August, Wade Durrell, Wade George Holiday Jr., Wagner Merle James, Wagner Thomas George, Wagner Louis Ronell, Wayne Nye Silas Alfonso, Wayne Wayland Limon, Walensky Andrew A., Walker Bill, Walker David, Walker Ernest, Walker Harry Ernest, Walker Loomis E., Wachowski Robert M., Wallace Houston Oliver, Wallace James Frank, Wallace Ralph Leroy, Walensky and Richard Henry, Wallen Earl Delbert, Waco Eugene Anderson, Walters Bethel Albert, Walter Charles Edward, Walter Clarence Archer, Walter Williams Swervian Jr., Walter Edward Alfred, Walton Alva Downing, Walton Ivan Irvin, Vadigo Walter H., Ward Albert Lewis, Ward James Richard, Ward William E., Brausienski Edward, Watkin DeVille Leo.
Watson Town Rigger Jr., Watson Richard Leon, Watson Raphael August, Watson William Lafayette, Watt Sherman Maurice, Watt Victor Ed, Weaver Luther Layton, Weaver Richard Walter, Webster Carl Edward, Webster James Sensel, Webster Harold Drain, Whedon Paul Alfred, Webzin Felix S., Wydell William Peter, Weiner Bernard Arthur, Welch William Edward, Weller Ludwig Frederick, Wells Alfred Floyd, Wells Floyd Arthur, Wells Harvey Anthony, Wells Raymond Virgil Jr., Wells William Bennett. Westbrook James Ross, Westbrook Robert H. Jr., Westcott William Percy Jr., Westerfield Ivan Ayers, Weston Donald Verne, Weston Fred Edwin, West Rogers Franklin, West Ernest Gray, West Webster Paul, Patrick Bernard Orant, William John Dennis, Worcester Gilbert Henry, Whittaker John William Jr., Whitcomb Cecil Eugene, Whitehead Owen Irving Jr., Whiteman George Allison, White Paul, White Charles William, White Len Albert, White Jack Dewey, White James Clifton, White Vernon Russell, White Volker Gowen, Woodblock Paul Morgan, Winston Alton Walter, Winston Ernest Hoover Jr., Whittemore Andrew Tiny, Woods William Byron, Wydan Thomas Solomon, Wickers Eugene Woodrow, Woodland John Joseph, Woods Everett Morris, Wyman Lloyd Paul, Wilbert Harold, Wilcox Arnold Alfred, Wilcox George James Jr., William Radis James, Williamson Raydoff Jr., Williamson William Dean, Williams Albert Luther, William Adrian Dalton, William Clyde, William Clyde Richard, William George Washington. Williams James Clifford, William Jacks Herman, William Lawrence A., Williams Wilbur Slade, Willis Robert Kenneth Jr., Willis Walter M., Will Joseph William, Wilson Clyde Richard, Wilson Rachel Woodrow, Wilson John James, Wilson Milton Sloss, Wilson Neil McEwenny, Wilson Ray Vito, Wilson Bernard Martin, Wilson Paul A., Wimberley Paul Edmund, Wimber Bernard Raymond, Windish Robert James, Windle Everett Wharton, Windle Robert Inman, Winfield Sterling B., Winter Edward. Wise Clarence Alvin, Wise Rex Alwood, Wittenberg Russell Goen, Wodowski Steve Joseph, Wu Oswald Powell, Wojensky Frank Peter, Wolf George Allen Alexanderson Jr., Woods Lawrence Alden, Woods Vernon Wesley, Woods Winfred Orwell, Woods William Anthony, Woodward Anthony Anley, Woodward Leighton J., Woody Harlan Fred, Woods Earl A., Wood Frank, Wood Harold Baker, Wood Horace Van, Wood Roy Eugene, Wood Norman Bragg, Woodman Clayton Haley, Wolfram John Lehman. Wright Edward Henry, Wright Paul Raymond, Wright Thomas Monroe, Rycroft Robert Leroy, Wydilia John Charles, Wyman Alden P., Yates Albert Elias, Yeats Charles Jr., Yomini Frank Peter, young Eric Reed, young Glendale Rex, young Jay Wesley, young Martin Damon, young Robert Vernon, young Virgil Jarrett, young Vivian Louis, Yovich Michael Charles, Yoko Joseph John, Lady John, Gadzinski Marion Herbert, Zabala Joseph S., Zeller John Virgil. With those names being read out loud, we wish you to let go of your sorrow, let go of your sadness, let go of your despair, let go of your sadness, so you can listen to the teachings, the chanting of the monks, the nuns, the beloved community here, so you can transform and reborn in the next life. We great respect, we offer you with love, with care, with reverence, with joy. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be alleviated from suffering and sadness. Namo Satya Munaya Muraya. Nguyện Cúng Ngọ Tiến Ngoại Đàn và cung tiễn cho chư hương linh trưa hôm nay. Nam mô Pháp Thị Tạng Bồ Tát Ma Ha Tát. Xin kính mời tất cả quý vị Phật tử trang nghiêm đạo tràng để cung nghênh quý ngài Quan Âm Phật Tiền đã pháp buổi lễ trưa hôm nay.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ Phước đạo đang thiện liệt vì tôn linh, cùng vì nghiệp loài hóa thôi chiếc hoàng thể chân linh Việt Nam Hoa Kỳ. Lịch đại biến cố diễn tăng linh chiến sĩ vì quốc băng chú vinh sĩ cảnh vọng nam nữ thanh linh hồn liền về phục vì nhận đồ siêu nghĩa cầu siêu hòa đồ thoát hóa phục tánh toàn linh lái ngài hỏa tai nạn nhân quả của nam nữ thanh linh hồn liền về phục vì cầu siêu thế can nghiệp loài kinh thánh quả hỏa bạc đồ siêu thăng ảnh hưởng ta tánh toàn linh thoát thế nghiệp chướng định tánh vi linh tình nghiệp luyện dưỡng thường định pháp chân linh. Việt Nam chiến tranh đồng bào tự nạn chứ về thiện nhân vượt biên vượt biển quả cổ nam nữ thâm linh hồn liền về phục vì cầu siêu từ hành từ chư gia văn tánh vi nghĩa thế từ thủy linh tùng từ kỹ nhân cầu siêu dài hoang bạc đồ quả cổ nam nữ hướng linh liệt về cùng vì chư gia văn tánh ban thế tư phù hoạn đại tiền khiên hoan gia đại chủ cửu thù chấp đối tù chúng ta ương những thế thọ nghiệp đẳng chữ hoành hồn liệt về duy nguyện đường thưa Phật ấn thịnh pháp văn kinh tông thoát ngũ đồ siêu sanh tình đồ cùng duyên nam mô thừa thủ nam mô Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ
tiễn cho chư hương linh và mời quý vị Phật tử, quý vị trong thân quyến. Giờ phút này quý vị vâng tập vào ngay trong màn linh để chuẩn bị cho lễ tiến linh chân mạch.
Hãy